Nowadays, majority of the Filipinos have firm faith in God. They are more aware of their soul salvation than before. Filipino Spirit-filled Christians are serving on fire with God. They have the power that can cast out devils and all works of Satan. Of course, they can drive out any invader of the country by God's power through prayer and fasting with all their strength, praising the Lord. Out of all the countries in the world, God chose from the Philippines His end-time prophet, whose great declarations proven 100% effective. His fervent prayers reached God's throne of grace with signs, wonders, and miracles. Filipino Christians have the assurance that God never leaves nor forsakes, and He answers prayers as they are forgiven, set free from the bondage of sin. Their minds are open to the fact that heaven and hell are real. They are no longer worshiping graven images, which God hates most. The Spirit-filled Filipino Christians obey God. They live a holy life, pleasing in His sight. God grants the desires of their hearts, which includes no war in the country and no invasion. Therefore, the Philippines is out of harm's way. Any invader of the Philippines becomes God's enemy. They will be scattered and confused. All their weapons will strike back at them. The invaders' missiles totally cannot reach the Philippines. The Philippines can be called a twin country of Israel, for in history, the Philippines voted in favor of UN Resolution 181 recommending the partition of Palestine and the establishment of a Jewish state in 1947. The Philippines was among the 33 countries that supported the establishment of Israel and the only Asian country which voted for the resolution. Both countries have established full diplomatic relationships. Victory belongs to these two God's chosen countries. God's protection is to the Filipino Spirit-filled Christians, the modern Israelites. About Sodom and Gomorrah in the Holy Bible, if only God found at least 10 righteous people, He would not destroy it, but none righteous there, and God rained down burning sulfur out of the heavens. Whereas in the Philippines, lots of Filipinos are being converted to the true faith in God. Their sins are forgiven and live in righteousness. These Christians are presently growing in almost all parts of the Philippines. For this reason, the Philippines will not be destroyed by God's wrath and invasion. Filipinos are the friendliest people on earth and not quarrelsome. Filipinos are a God-loving people, and so He cares for the Philippines. Presently, God permits President Rodrigo R. Duterte in making the Philippines a strong country with a very strong military. It will continue now and forever. Due to this, the Philippines is untouchable by any invader. Since the end-time prophet of God is a Filipino living in the Philippines, and with the Spirit-filled Filipino Christians that believe in God's word through His prophet, He will not allow the Philippines to be invaded and destroyed by a quarrelsome China, the highest percentage of atheists in the world.